People of Tralee, members of the Olympus, members of the Ross family. I hope that Christie is going to shine that light up there for us and hold off that rain. Today is a very important day for the people of Tralee, because today we celebrate and honour one of our famous sons, Christie Hennessy. I know, as Michael has already mentioned, that Terry O'Brien particularly wanted to be here today. Unfortunately he can't, but as they say, le beg la. Today we honour this kind and gentle man who was a great ambassador for his home, his family and his town. Christie was born in Tralee and was one of Ireland's most popular singer-songwriters, recording multiple platinum-selling albums, starting with the Christie Hennessy in 1972. It is fitting that the people of Tralee and Tralee Town Council recognise the huge impact that Christie Hennessy made to the musical landscape, not only in Ireland but all over the world. I know that today is a bittersweet day for the family, friends, fellow musicians and singers, and for all who knew and loved Christie. Born in Tralee in 1945, Christie was one of 9 children. He lost his father at the age of 5 years, and he left school at the age of 11. And he went to work as a messenger boy in Tralee, hence messenger boy. He emigrated to England aged 15 years, and because of his dyslexia, he was unable to read or write. What a challenge. He had to work very hard for all his achievements. Nothing was handed to Christie on a platter. Christie learned his first instrument, the drums, from another famous Tralee man, Henry Curtin. Henry was later to become a member of the Frank Sinatra band, and he was a member of the Curtin family, who are so well known in Tralee for their music. On a side note, I have very lovely memories of Henry Curtin, because when we used to be coming home from school in the evening, we would knock at the door and we would ask his mother, would the boy drum for us? And Henry always obliged. Hence my favourite instrument at the present time is drumming. I absolutely love it. Christie was a great artist who loved his craft. Speaking on the Shoiga and O'Shea television show some years before his death, Christie said, "It is what I love most, getting up there and singing. The big kick," he said, "is getting up there and doing it for real. It's fantastic to work at something you love." Christie received much acclaim for his singing, and yet he was such a humble man that he never really understood why he received it. He had such a hard road to get to where he wanted to go that he really never realised that he had got there. Yet we are all aware of All the Lies That You Told Me, which was a #1 for Francis Black, and O Jealous Heart, which gave Maura Brennan of Clonard her first #1. He wrote Don't Forget Your Shovel for Christie Moore, who later said, "It turned my career around." And speaking further of Christie Hennessy, Christie Moore said, "He is that beautiful man we see on stage and we hear in his albums." And I think that's very important for us to remember. He was such a lovely, gentle person that there were people who actually thought it was an act. But what we looked at, what we saw, what we got was the real person. An indication of Christie's popularity among other singing artists was the fact that so many of them were featured with him in The Two of Us, which was released after his death in May 2008, and which succeeded in knocking Madonna off the #1 in the charts. And I suppose for younger people, certainly that would be considered a huge achievement. And I think all of us who went and saw Christie in his concerts remember the simple look of pleasure that was on his face as he sang and as he received the acclaim that was given to him. And, you know, you always thought that, well, he really didn't expect it. Not only did Christie entertain us with his singing, but he also entertained us with his stories, which preceded each song, and with his gentle smile, which were so much part of what he was. The people of Tralee and Tralee Town Council will continue to celebrate the life of Christie Hennessy by arranging a coming together of Christie's family, friends and fans to organise a Christie Hennessy musical weekend in the coming year. And it is hoped that this will be an annual event. He certainly deserves it. Christie was a very charitable man. He did a lot of work for the charity Children in Crossfire and travelled to Africa to see the work being done for the children. He was, in his own words, very interested in children's education. And he wrote A Price for Love, especially for the charity. And he also set up a special record label for the song to ensure that all the proceeds would go directly to the charity and that none of it would be siphoned off paying other people. Children in Crossfire appealed to him because he had been told by Richard Moore, who was the founder of the charity, that 97% of the monies collected for this charity goes back to the work being done for the charity itself. An indication of his sensitivity was the fact that when he did go to Africa, he could not go to look at the children who were worse damaged because he said it would upset him too much. Family was so very important to Christie. He said that family worked, that family was a good thing. Christie told the story that when he first went out with Jill, she asked him one night on their way home to read a sign, because they didn't know where they were, which of course he couldn't do. She said she thought he had bad eyesight. Speaking to her today, she realised the problem almost immediately. But when he told her the problem he had, she said, "We'll find a way around it." He felt, and these are his own words, that she had great courage to take him on as he was. He had no job, no prospects, and he couldn't read or write. Speaking of his 3 children, he said they are amazing. Nothing is too much for them to do for me. They are very important to me, he said. And when his son Tim was interviewed on Kerry Radio just a few days ago, he said that his father Christie taught his children that they could overcome anything. What a legacy. When Christie died, a book of condolence was opened on the web, and the latest entry in that book, which is obviously ongoing, was entered only a few days ago on the 29th of October. To date, thousands of contributions have been made from people of all ages and from many different countries. And you may wonder why I talked about Christie's charity and Christie's family. I think it's to point out that Christie got the complete package. We know getting the package he had to work in it, but everything that was good was important to him. And I think it is very important to acknowledge that today. I will leave the final words to Christie's daughter, Hermione. She said, "It was a great honour to be on stage with him. I thought he was so incredibly gifted. I thought," she said, "that he was a genius." Christie, you are a star, and we, the people of Tralee, are the poorer for having lost you. Good mille maithfid.